Garia. How is everybody today? Fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. Wait. Before you go any further, can you do me a favor? Can you send me an email real quick?
Actually, yes, we do. But
I'm about to listen. Wait. You're talking too much. First rule of sales: listen first.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yeah,
People
yeah.
never disagree with
sir.
what. Listen. People never disagree with what they say. Okay. So what you need to do is let people talk a little bit. I know that the hammerheads that have force fed you the way to do these kinds of cold calls tell you to just talk. Don't listen a little bit, because the people that you will actually get sales from are the people you listen to. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to send me an email so I can call you back when I'm done with the conference call I'm on right now. Can you do that?
Yes, sir. I can do that, but it
I want you to send me an email. That was the only instruction I've given you in this brief 40-second call. That's what I want you to do, is send me an email, okay?
cut your file. Thank you, Mr. Compton. You have a very good day. Take care.
Because today, motherfuckers, I choose violence. Let's go. I'm not playing today. Let's fucking go. That was somebody trying to do remodeling on my home. First of all, I'll never, ever in a million years do business with anybody that cold calls me. Ever. And if you're dumb enough to let me actually get your information, I'm going to take your money. So please don't ever do that. Don't ever cold call me, because you will feel the wrath. Down the and speaking of feeling the wrath, I really just what's up, scammers? Cam, how you doing, homie? Let's make some fucking calls because I need to. Let's fucking go. How about it? As I suspected, there is not much in the way of calls today, because there's just not that many numbers. I have so far this morning like 4 or 5. Reason being, I don't know exactly. Hold on, I'm not sure exactly what time. I can never remember India's time frame. What time is it in India right now? 9:46 p.m. So these guys are partying their balls off right now, which means they're not going to be working. So it's New Year's for them right now. So the calls that we might get today are going to be inbound calls, and we're going to handle them. What time is it in the Philippines right now? It is just after midnight right now. So two of the key places that these calls are going to come from, nah, they're not going to be here today, which is probably for the, I don't know if it's for the best or not. I probably would have made some really kick-ass content today. I'm just going to tell you right now. Let me... Someone, Kenny M sent me a message and it said, "We received 59 complaints. Your Yahoo account will be removed. Act now." Now, here's the deal. Kenny M has a Yahoo account. This email has a link in it. Now, I cannot show it to you. I can't show you the screen. I wish I could. I'll tell you what I can do. Let me take a picture of it real quick and I'll show it to you on my phone because this is important. Let me do it this way. Like this. And now I'm going to edit this picture and crop it so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay. This is what it looks like. Okay. I'm showing TikTok. I'm going to show YouTube here in just a second. All right. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like. I know that's going to be hard to read. I'm going to read it to you here in just a second. So basically what it says is, Yahoo team support. Dear customer, I'm the representative of Customer Support Center at Yahoo. First of all, that's grammatically incorrect. Yahoo is never going to send you an email that is grammatically incorrect. Okay, they have protections for that 5 layers deep. Okay, I am the representative of Customer Support Center at Yahoo. That doesn't even make sense. No. Okay. So number one, that's fake. Complaints received from account Yahoo space exclamation mark. Now, Yahoo, the actual logo is Yahoo with an exclamation point right there. And it's all the same font. It's all the same. This is not. Yahoo is normal. The apostrophe, the exclamation mark is slanted. Dear customer, first of all, they're never going to send you something that says customer. They're going to say your name. Let's see. Complaints received from complaints. Sending malwares and viruses. Malwares is not right. It would be malware, number one. And they capitalize the M in malwares. Okay, so the reason I'm pointing this out, all of these are signs that this email is 100% bullshit to begin with. Okay, the reason I'm pointing this out, no offense to Kenny, because he sent it to me and said, would me sending you the scam emails be the reason for this? I've never seen anything like this before, although the sender seems very suspicious. Okay, this email came from Hutchinson at code.jogpart.com. Like, what the actual is that anyway? So the sender is a giveaway. The bad grammar, punctuation, fonts, all signs. There are thousands of spam emails that were sent out from your email address in the last 3 days. We require your clarification now to avoid mail account deletion within 48 hours. Does that sound like it makes sense? No, not even a little bit. We recommend you to install an antivirus. We will choose the best one for you. It has a green button that says run and scan for viruses. If you hover over that green button, okay, down in the bottom left-hand corner, this is the green button that I'm talking about right here. It says run and scan for viruses. Okay, you see the little green button right there by my finger. Okay, it says run and scan for viruses. If you take your mouse, don't click, but you hover over it, down in the very bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see https://xkaunweav.de.com. That's a Danish website. Okay, or assuming that's a Danish website. Let me Let me go here. And it's XKA unweave.da.com. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to whois.com. And up in the top right corner, I'll share this screen with my YouTubers real quick. Here, xkaunweave.de.com. It came from Namecheap. Namecheap. Now, this is on the screen over on YouTube. The YouTube channel is ruckphobocalls.com. I'm sorry, it's just Ruck Fobocalls. If you want to go check it out, you can. There's a link in my bio. What's up, Kel? How are you? So Namecheap is known for dealing with a lot of scammers. Now, not all, but they do have a lot of scam websites. This is one of them. You'll notice that this website was registered on 3/13/23. Yahoo's been around since 1998 or so. Okay. So if we take this site and we go to, why is it not showing it on YouTube that I'm doing that? Generate more customers online. Paid search, direct email marketing, search engine optimization. Now you can tell by the spelling of optimization here that this is a foreign website. Anyway, contact us, get in touch below. There's no contact information whatsoever. Privacy. Sometimes when you look at the privacy, it pulled it up in a separate window. You can barely read it. Let me see if it has any. Yeah, no address information in the privacy policy, nothing. So that is the website that this links to. All this is a phishing website trying to get people to sign in and give their information. That's all that is. Now, at the end of that, train, if you hover over it, there's a whole 50 other characters. It's like code, letters and numbers and slashes and whatever, because it's a tracking tool. And it'll know exactly what email campaign this came from, what email address it went to, and everything. And now they know that this is an active email and that you're willing to click on it, and so on and so on and so on. Okay. So when you get these emails with a link in them, do not click on that link. You could be inviting yourself to more spam, to spam phone calls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, why does that matter? Let's say, for example, this person's email, and I'm not going to call it out, but this person's email, I do a quick Google search for his email. This is Kenny, and I'm going to copy his email real quick, and I'm going to open this up. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you this for obvious reasons. I don't want to show Kenny's email. And I find the first thing I find is Kenny's TikTok. I find a cars.com review that he did that he gave a 4.8, by the way. Good job, cars.com. But it has his email. It has everything. So there's a lot of data to be had with only just the tiniest bit of information online. In 2025, one of the things that I'm going to be doing, I've had a bunch of companies reach out to me and say, hey, we want you to brand rep our shit. And I haven't done it until now. I haven't done it up to this point. In 2025, I'm going to start some of those relationships and partnerships with big companies, big companies, the Nortons and the whatevers of the world, because they've reached out to me multiple times and asked me to, kind of rep their shit and whatever. I will only, just so you know, I will only endorse something that I have personally tested and can attest to its effectiveness. There's a lot of programs and things that you can get, sites that you can subscribe to, etc., that will remove a bunch of this information off of the internet. 100%. And I'm going to be sharing some of those with you guys, because the more of this information you remove from the internet, the better. You're going to get less spam. You're going to get less spam or scam calls, because a lot of these phone number lists that are generated by companies whose sole function it is to farm phone numbers, emails, etc., for spam, for scam calls, for telemarketing, and so on and so forth. So just so you know, that's one of the things that's going to be coming in 2025. Okay. Yeah. 2025. Thank you. Whoever sent that to me just now. Butterfly lady. Thank you. So if you think I'm kidding, I encourage all of you to Google your name in quotes. Okay. So if your name is John Smith, now John Smith, it's not going to work as well for, but if you have a name like Doc Compton and you search it in quotes, you're going to find a lot of things about yourself. You're going to find phone numbers, addresses, former employers, every review you've ever left on Yelp or Travelocity or any of those websites. Your email is probably on the internet already. You just haven't realized it yet. Okay. Have an email that you can post publicly, and then have one that you only give to friends and family. Trust me. Okay. It will save you a lot of time in your inbox. And then you can only go to the one that's the junk email when you need to go to that junk email. Phone numbers. Take your phone number, whatever it is, put it in quotes. Okay. So let's say your number is 111-222-3333, right? Quote 111-222-333, end quote. Google it. See if it doesn't pull you up. See if it doesn't pull up your home address and all this kind of shit. All these nasty emails that people get and say, I know it'd be a lot easier if I just came to your house at 1234 Main Street or called you at 111-222-3333, but blah, 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 blah. Okay, if I have your address, I can show you pictures of your house like that. There's a way to take that off. I'm going to be sharing shit like that in 2025 as well. You can literally take your house off of Google. There's other websites that it can be on, like Zillow and Redfin and some of these real estate websites and things like that. That can be harder to get rid of, but at least not Google. And you can actually take it off. And I encourage you to do that. Okay. Understand though that once you've done it, you can't do it again, or you can't undo it. Once it's taken off Google, it's taken off. They don't put it back. So you didn't find anything about you. People, I used to do the thing where I would just live. People would say, here's my name and here's my city. I bet you can't find me. And then I would start describing their house. And then I would start describing the car that they drive and things like that. And people would shit their pants. It's really not that, it's not as hard as you think it is. And there's ways to do it. If I'm about to make calls, there's not a lot of calls to be made today, but I'm talking about some basic general security and cybersecurity information for those that, those that are interested. So it can be found. If you do not know, everybody grab a pencil or get ready to screen record the word that I'm about to use. Ready? Another 3 seconds for the technologically crippled. Okay. All right. OSINT. Just Google that. There's a lot out there that you don't know. There's a lot of search tools that are available. There's a lot of things out there that are super readily available and accessible. Also, too, this is more prevalent in the United States. I will say that. So if you're outside the country, the rules are a little different. So OSINT. OSINT, 5 letters. Google yourself, Google your phone number, Google your address. There's websites that say who lives at. And you can say who lives at, 1234 Main Street, and it'll pull you up. And it'll pull up your relatives, your exes, your people say, well, they called my ex-wife, or they called my ex-boyfriend, or they called my parents, or they called my sister and said I was going to go to jail if they didn't pay. Where do you think they get it? It's online. It's not hard. Holy shit, there's a ton of mine. There you go. Yes, Karen. Yeah. Ages, birth year, or, approximate age. You can get all stuff. DuckDuckGo instead of Google. Yes, that's true. I have my doubts about that as well, but yeah. So just so you know, your shit is out there. In 2025, add this. You've got a bunch of bullshit resolutions that you're not going to follow through on. You're not going to be in your best shape ever. Okay? Let's fucking be honest. You're not. You're going to try about 3 weeks or 4 weeks maybe. You might lose a few pounds. You might stop drinking for 2 weeks or whatever your bullshit resolutions are this year. And this time, I mean it. But let's be realistic. But here's what you can do. You can make your life a little bit better, a little bit simpler, a little bit less bothered by all of these bad guys online. Speaking of bad guys online, people trying to invite me to battles. There we go. He's just battles all the time. No, I don't. Just like I told you. It's over again. Find something else to bitch about. Sod that. I'm not going to find the whiskey. I actually know what that means. Sod off. Yeah, no, same here. I recognize who and what I am. I mean, there's times where I'll be like, okay, I'm not going to do this and this and this. Like in prep for LA, I'm not. Tonight I will, obviously. I will imbibe. It's New Year's and and we have some nice champagne to drink. So, but after that, I'll be good until we get to LA, and then we'll probably have a little bit of champs up there too. So, will we do a meet and greet? Yes, we will. Location is yet to be determined. There's a lot of security implications and concerns there, just because fucking crazies. And there is that random chance that some dipshit will show up and want to be a jerk off and whatever. So, I mean, it's going to be one of those deals that we're going to have to get security in LA and hire a private security company for it, the same way we did for the other thing. Which was, by the way, super funny in Reddit. All the people that were mocking that, like, you have to have a bodyguard and da 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 da. You anonymous pricks are the reason for that. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't care. Everybody that's nice, I wouldn't worry about it. But it's because of anonymous pricks like the ones on Reddit that I even have to have that multi-$1,000 expense. So, and we will, for sure. We'll have it. And we will have some manner of meet and greet, even if it's only, we're going to be, don't read Reddit. Yeah. I do it it's funny to me, honestly, the crazy shit that people come up with. I find it hysterical in large part. I really, truly do. So, what else was I going to talking about? We're not going to London. It's just schedule wasn't going to work. I mean, it was just go to LA for 4 days, 5 days, come home for 2, fly to London, be jet lagged, already be jet lagged, and then fly to London and then be there for 3 or 4 days, then fly back, be jet lagged again. And there's not one necessarily that I like, Kyle. I mean, there's just a lot out there. You weren't kidding. I found all my info when I Googled. It's there. Now, there's services that you can pay that will wipe 90% of that off. You're never going to get rid of it all. You're not. Try as you might, you won't. And the minute you wipe it all, like if you were to do it yourself, which would be extraordinarily time consuming, there's companies out there that'll, for a couple $100 a year, they'll just make sure that your shit gets wiped, and it's better. They pull it from public records. So if you own a home, it's public record. unless your home is purchased in a trust or some kind of crazy shit like that, they're going to be able to find you. People find me all the time, and people, and it's like, and they act like, haha, I know, like they've created accounts with my address in it. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, I'm going to block you and shit. I'm not going to give you the entertainment, but I'm not going to give you anything beyond just a block. So congratulations, you found readily available information on the fucking internet. That doesn't make you a rocket scientist or any kind of genius or super sleuth. It just makes you an obsessive freak. So whatever. But I mean, particularly, when I talk to, I have a lot of women that say I'm concerned because my ex was X, Y, or Z or whatever. First thing you need to do is start removing your shit from the internet. Period. Don't put your phone numbers on the internet. Don't put your emails on the internet. Don't put anything on the internet that you don't absolutely have to. Can I recommend a good company to erase records? The best thing that I could tell you, if I'm honest, just wait a couple of weeks, because I'm going to be able to recommend some that are like legit. If you have a common name like John Smith, that kind of works to your advantage, Karen, because they don't know which John Smith it is. Like you go to any city, even the smallest town, there's going to be 2 John Smiths. And then if you live in a big place like Dallas, there's 5 million, whatever. Will it cost a lot? No, it wouldn't cost a lot. A couple $100 typically is pretty manageable. And if you think about that, what it gives you, if you could eliminate 90% of your robocalls by deleting your phone number off the internet, would you do it? If it costs you $200? Most people, the answer is yes. My answer is absolutely yes. So, what if those companies that wipe your info get hacked too? They're not storing your information, Rachel. They're removing it. They're not interested in keeping it. Yep, my name is common, so different actors come up, but not mine. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Particularly, I mean, like I'm from Texas and I worked in credit, and in Texas, like people say, my name is John Ramirez or Jesus Ramirez, and I'm like, okay, well, no wonder you have erroneous shit on your credit report. There's only 10 million Jesus or Jose Martinez. It's just a very common name. It's John Smith, basically. That can work for you or it can work against you. If you're the Jose Martinez that always pays his bills on time and has an 800 credit score, it can be problematic because the Jose Martinez that has shit credit, never pays his bills, his shit can end up on your credit score or on your credit report and drag your score down. And you're constantly having to battle that. But, vice versa, if you're the derelict that never pays his bills and you get the good John Smith or Jose Martinez shit on your credit report, it can benefit you. But, making sure that you pay attention to your credit, have a monitoring service, guys. It is absolutely worth it to get a credit monitoring service. Online reputation. If you want to Google one now, just Google online reputation or, delete online information. You'll find a million companies that do that stuff. Is Credit Karma any good? Credit Karma will teach you content of your credit report and trends. The scores they're worthless, and it only shows 2 of the 3 bureaus. Credit Karma does not have a deal with Experian. You have to get it directly from Experian in order to do that, and they're never going to do that. And the scores that you get on Credit Karma are not the same scores that you get from wherever. FICO, any FICO score. All right. Let me run through this. There's another one that I see that I want to address. I get a lot of questions about this kind of stuff where it said Span et al. V. Superior Air Ground Ambulance Service Inc. settlement notice. People send me these all the time and goes, is this legit? Here's what I recommend. If you Google Span, and I'll do this for my my YouTube folks real quick. Again, if you want to see me do this, go over to the YouTube real quick. I'm going to open a new window. There. Let me share the screen over on YouTube. 1 second. There we go. If you get an email saying that you've been part of a class action or something like that, all you have to do is Google the lawsuit, and there'll be a ton of information about that lawsuit. Classaction.org, Superior Ambulances Settlement, which is the actual website for that case, superiorambulancessettlement.com, Justia document or dockets and filings, Span versus Superior, blah, 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 blah. And it'll show you that this is a legit case, something that you may not even realize you're a part of, but you are. And you can get you'll get a little postcard a lot of times. It'll look something like this, because we get them all the time too. You know, and it's a lot of small print. And I'm just making sure there's no personal information on here real quick. You'll get a little postcard like this. Always fill those out, because you're going to get a check. It may take a year or 2 years, but you're going to get a little check. And that little check is going to be worth anywhere from $5 to $100 or a couple $100 or something. You never know. There's settlements for cases that you never knew existed. You didn't take part in. You didn't have anything to do with it, but you're a beneficiary. So you might as well just fill this shit out and get it. So to whoever it was that sent this to me, Crystal J. Yes. Usually in these things, there'll be a deal like this that says Superior Ambulance Settlement right there, and you click on it, and it'll pull it up, and it'll tell you all about the case and so on and so forth. Okay. Hang on. Let me get over here. There we go. Close that. So if you get those, Google them. I got a check for 7 cents. A stamp, paper, and envelope costs more. Exactly. Now here's the deal, though. The company that made the settlement, that lost effectively or choose to settle instead of losing, they have to pay those expenses. So they do. That's on their dime. So, you know, the problem with the class action is that it makes attorneys a shit ton of money. It might make a lead plaintiff, the named party, it might make them some money, but everybody else just gets I'm not a huge fan of class action lawsuits, but in terms of punishing, let me talk about Allstate right now. Let me talk about Allstate Insurance. Allstate Insurance are the scum of the fucking earth. I'll just tell you that company is horrible. Horrible. I'm probably going to get a restriction for that. I hope I don't. But if I do, or if I disappear, that's probably why. Allstate is the devil incarnate. Corporate insurance in general, insurance in large part, is terrible. Okay. They sell based on fear, which is, in my mind, one of the worst things in the world you could do. It has created elevated expenses in just about everything. Your medical treatments cost more because of insurance. It costs more to have your car in whatever state you live because of insurance. If you die, don't you want your family to be taken care of? Well, if you take the same money that you spent on life insurance and you invest it in the market over the life of 7 to 10 years, the actual return on that is somewhere around 7 to 15%, depending on the time period. So just put that money in the bank. It's your money. You earn on it. You keep it, and so on. Now, there are some things for which medical insurance can be really amazing. Like if you get some dread disease, you get cancer or, something horrible. It can save you. It can, whatever. But the reason you have to have insurance is because all the medical treatment is so expensive, largely because the insurance industry makes certain that it is, and the pharmaceutical companies make certain that it is. There's no money in cure. Lots of money in treatment. Lots of money in selling you the fear of what if. Don't you want your family to be protected? Of course I do. I mean, do you want your wife and your children, or your husband and your children, to be your partner and your children to be, happy and healthy after you're gone. They're going to be grief stricken because you've passed. Don't you want them to not have to worry about funeral arrangements? Bro, put me in the oven, burn me, have a party, get a couple of kegs, lots and lots of vodka and gin, and let everybody throw down. That's what I care about. What about your ashes? Where do you want your ashes to go? I don't give a shit. They're ashes. I'm not going to be here. I don't care. Right? Whatever. That's just me, though. And I mean, I'm not shitting on anybody's spiritual beliefs and, where they go and all that. That's just my personal take on it. So, Allstate Insurance has been sued multiple times in class action lawsuits for violating the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, illegally calling people. And they go, we don't do that. We hire companies, and the companies do that. There's a principle of law called vicarious liability, which means that if I didn't actually pull the trigger, but I hired the guy that did, I'm just as culpable, or at least culpable on some level, as the person who actually pulled the trigger. That's vicarious liability. Okay. It's kind of a guilt by association kind of thing. And they have settled multiple class action lawsuits. Most recently, they did one for a little over $4 million, I think it was. Everybody gets a check for, $50 or whatever. I've never been included in that. Do y'all remember how many times I've talked about Allstate Insurance calling me and my wife? Do you remember the time that I got a criminal trespass warrant because I went to a robocaller's office? That was like 2 years ago. Allstate is a huge pain in my ass because they've now subpoenaed me to try and get me to give up information about my members and whatever in the members form, the robocalls deal. And my response was a simple one. It was a single finger on each hand. It shall remain so. I will fight that until the end of time. I've had to fight this against Charter Communications once before, successfully. I fought it against a company called Keys City Capital once before, successfully. And I'm going to fight Allstate Insurance successfully. I'm going to do it. I had about a 30-minute conversation with my attorney yesterday about this very topic. So, the dumb shit that I'm seeing in the comments right now is just like whatever. Anyway, so I'm talking about class actions. This will end up settling. I'm having to pay $5,000 or $10,000 to my attorney to fight this bullshit off again. It's all about the money. No, I got shit I got to pay for, like protecting people, whatever. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that. Well, thoughts on the UHC CEO? United Healthcare is one of the most notorious robocallers. Hate the company. No one should be over it. But I will also say that if CEOs were getting killed at the rate that kids are in schools, there'd be some action on that, wouldn't there? You tell me I'm wrong, you're too stupid to talk to me. I'm just going to tell you right now, 1,000%. So, yeah. And I mean, I'm sad for this guy and his family. He did not deserve that. 1,000%. And I think that this guy, if he's found guilty, I mean, by a jury of his peers and however that goes, I mean, if he actually did it, he needs to pay the price, and whatever that price is. So, insurance is, insurance can tell you, and there's insurance people in here right now and I mean them no harm. I mean them no negativity. I'm just the industry. I'm speaking to the industry. They work in that industry. It is what it is. People work in casinos. People hate that. And they say, oh, it's a terrible place to work because people are addicted to it. And blah, blah, blah. Just like battles. Oh, battling is terrible and you shouldn't do it. And okay, whatever. Make personal choices. Better ones. hopefully. 2025 is going to be me. No, it's not. Don't bullshit yourself or anybody else. Stop posting shit on Instagram about how you're going to be better in 2020. You're not. You're going to be the same jackass you were in 2024. Maybe for a month or so, and January is going to be a great place to be. But, bro, let's be honest. Insurance can look at you. They can ask you 20 questions and determine within a statistically significant number how long you're going to live. And they're fucking right, man. That's how they base your premiums. We're gambling that this dude is going to live this long. That's insurance. That is what insurance, life insurance in particular, or health insurance, based on this guy's lifestyle, where he lives, what he does for a living, or she does for a living, the stress associated with that job. We know how long this person's going to, go without being sick. We're going to make the premiums based on that. Car insurance, credit is one of the first things they pull. If you're a derelict who's irresponsible and doesn't pay your bills on time, your insurance is going to be more expensive, because that same derelict is going to go out and drive recklessly or while beveraging tonight. Please don't, by the way. We don't go anywhere. We stay home. It's just safer. Don't like the idea of hassling with a bunch of drunk asses on a night that they don't normally drink. Is there a website that shows who's trying to hack your information? If someone's trying to hack your information, you won't know. I mean, they're not going to, hey, I'm trying to hack Compton right now. That's not how that works. So no, not really. Yeah, absolutely correct, Cha-Cha. They can predict how long you're going to live, and they're going to be right a statistically significant percentage of the time. They're going to be right. And they have gotten that to such a science, and that's why insurance is such a big business. You want to know who the biggest lobbyists in Congress are? Insurance and pharma. There's no money in cure. You make money, if I could cure cancer, they can, by the way. Don't believe anybody that tells you differently. If I can cure cancer and I can sell that, or better, give that away, end cancer. Like literally flip a switch and end cancer. Big Pharma would lose its shit. What? The companies that make the radiation stuff, the companies that make all the expensive machines for chemotherapy, the people that, this rubber tube that goes from your port, to the chemotherapy machine. Okay. That rubber tube is $800. It's a fucking rubber tube, dude. You know why it's so expensive? Because insurance. Period. Anybody that tries to tell you differently is uneducated or lying to you. I promise you. So that's my rant on insurance, but that started because of class actions. I'm not a huge fan of class actions because a lot of these companies, insurance companies in particular, deny. There's an adage in insurance: deny the claim, deny the claim, deny the claim. Okay, they were talking about that Luigi kid, something like that. I forget what it was: deny, defend, or whatever. But the deny part, that's what insurance does. No, we're not going to pay for that. Fuck, you're not. Yes, you are. I paid premiums. I paid $1,400 a month for insurance. You are going to pay this. No, we're not. Here's all the paperwork. It says you're supposed to pay for it. Here's my contract that says you pay for this kind of shit. Why wouldn't you pay for it? I don't know. We're not going to pay for it. Yes, you are. The paperwork's not right. The paperwork is fine. Here it is. We don't have it. We didn't get it. Yes, you did. Here's proof that you got. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. We're a little behind. It's going to take 6 months. It's time value of money. The longer they can hold on to the more money, the more money they make through interest and on their deposited funds. And if they're lucky, you die. And they don't have to pay shit. The hospital still pays them, or I'm sorry, the hospital still bills them. And they'll pay it, but they'll pay it super slow and so on and so forth. I go to a doctor that doesn't even deal with insurance. My personal physician, our personal physician, doesn't deal with insurance. It's cash. You pay monthly. We pay a monthly fee every month just to have access to him. We can call him. Hey, look, I need to go in. I need to come see you. And he's like, cool. What about tomorrow at 2? Boom, in, out. If you have a doctor that can treat you without insurance, and then instead of your normal blood work costing $1,000, it's like $210 or, something ridiculous like that. Now, the guy's business model is he charges, I don't even know what it is. We got grandfathered in because we've been there so long, but it's like $110 a person per month, right? But I get in when I want to get in. If I called him right now, I have his personal cell phone. I could literally call him right now. He would probably answer if he's not with the patient. I could text him and he would answer before I was done with his live stream. And I would say, hey man, I think I'm sick. And he's like, I'll have one of the girls call you to set up an appointment. Done. Want Botox? Want whatever? Yeah, he can do that too. He's certified to do all that. I don't get it from him. I don't get Botox. I get Dysport. It's totally different because I've had wrinkles in my forehead since I was like in my early 20s. So I went in on a goof one day. My wife doesn't. That's another thing people talk about. My wife getting Botox. My wife does not get Botox. She has, but she doesn't. And like people making dumbass comments. Cute, whatever. Went in there one day as a goof to the place that I've been going for like 3 years now. And this girl was like, my wife said, you should get some. And I was like, okay. And I did it. And I never quit. It's been like 3 years. I've never stopped ever since then. So yeah, it's like, and I don't care if if any of y'all know, I really don't give two shits. I'm not going to tell you where I go because, weirdos and all. So yeah, like who cares? Did you give up on me? No, Brett, I did not give up on you. I literally don't know what else to do. There's something wrong with your device. You have not cleared your app, your cache. Like I told you, I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. You've uninstalled and reinstalled. I've read your email. You've uninstalled and reinstalled. I thought you had access again. Uninstall, reinstall. When you get in, clear the app cache, cache and data, clear all that, and then try it again. If you have Gold RX Plus, it drops the price of your prescription. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to kind of game that. So, have it on my forehead makes my eyebrows droop, so it's no good. Oh, that sucks. What's your thoughts on LifeLock? It's okay. I mean, LifeLock, people don't know the history on LifeLock because I was in the credit game for a long time. I do know the history on LifeLock. LifeLock was, they had the guy that created LifeLock. I don't know if he's still even associated with the company. I'm sure he probably is in some level. He used to post his social security card with the number in magazines and shit. And he's like, go ahead, try to use it. Well, he was like, that's how sure I am of my product. And he said that if anybody does it, we'll pay up to $1 million in damages for any actual losses that you incur if you're a LifeLock customer. Well, what he failed to tell people was that his own social security number had been used a jillion times. Now, he could go back in after the fact and fix it, but it didn't really protect him. He was putting his social security out there and people were using it and getting away with it in some cases. But he didn't tell that part of the story. He just said, that's how confident I am that this works. So people started using it and it didn't really do whatever. And he ended up doing some settlement with the government. I think it was like the Federal Trade Commission or something for that very thing. So, I mean, it's as good as any other thing. It's not going to, the alerts and things that you get, most of your credit card companies have some sort of credit monitoring service. Use it. Look for things like inquiries. If someone's inquiring about your credit and you didn't authorize it, talking about hard inquiries. You know, someone tried to get a credit card and you're like, wait a minute, I haven't applied for a credit card in 2 years. You need to go to the credit bureaus and go, hey, what the f is this? Who did this? And they go, well, didn't you do it? No. Okay. Number one, they're going to take that off your credit. Number two, you should probably put a credit freeze on your credit and make certain that nobody can do that without actually getting a phone call from whoever is trying to give you credit. That's how the credit freezes work. And if you call one bureau and do a credit freeze or contact them online and do a credit freeze, technically all three bureaus are then supposed to be contacted by, or the other two bureaus are supposed to be contacted by the, thank you for that crazy bear, Tom's Hug, Glenn G. What up? I haven't asked you guys for anything, and I intend to maintain that. But if you would, that little orange heart right there next to my name, that'd be pretty dope if you would do that for me. Just so y'all know. One second. Never had a credit card in your life, don't intend to. Your credit score suffers as a result. I get it. I mean, I understand the principle. If I can't pay cash, I don't want it. That's cool until you have to buy a house and you don't have credit card credit, so your score suffers. Two of my credit scores are all above 800 at this point. They haven't always been that way, but they are now. And that's largely because I have, I've got a good mix of credit and so on and so forth on my credit reports now. I actually get hurt on two of the bureaus because my house doesn't appear on there because they screwed it up and they were forced to take it off of my credit. So, wow, Gloria, that sucks. Have no money, perfect credit, I rarely use. That's good. That's what you want. You know, my credit went up and my card was hacked and maxed. Thoughts on Dave Ramsey? My best friend, David, is a certified. Hang on a second. One of my mods said something. Hearts. Comment. I don't see it. Okay, got it. I don't see what you're talking about. Put it in the Discord. I'm not on the app yet. I'm going to go over to the app. We're going to do some Q&A stuff. I really don't have that many numbers to call today. They didn't send them out because remember, they're all partying right now. It's New Year's. So they want to party too. I've got a couple. I got a PCH deal. So let me put. Oh, thoughts on freezing credit for a minor? Oh, it's a great idea. I've known people. I knew a chiropractor. This is like early 90s. When I first started learning about credit, I knew a chiropractor who had twins and he used their socials to fund his business. True story. He built credit around his toddler children's scores. The rules were different. It was a little more wild, wild west back in those days. But the thing was, he built them up so high that by the time they were 18, they had 800 and something credit scores, incredible credit scores. So they were able to privately fund their own college and, things like that. So, I mean, there's good things about it, but if you freeze it, nobody can use it. This would be very helpful if the kid has a very common name, John Smith, Jose Martinez, pick one you like. The app is not specific to the USA, but there are certain approved countries. What country are you in? It's New Year's Day in Australia. Good eye. You know, I mean, it's a good idea for your kids, especially if they have a very common name. But you know, typically, if they're 18, they can't be on. They're not supposed to be on the credit bureaus anyway. So, all right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make a call. This is a PCH. We're gonna call it. And this is one of the, you know, someone told me yesterday, it was like, I got a new scam. They sent me, told me I won $7 million in a new Mercedes or something like that. Thank you, Carolyn. Let's see what happens. See if they answer. Andrist, I'm going to answer that in a minute. The app works in the UK. Tons of people from the UK in it.
The subscriber you are trying to reach is not available.
Yeah, I can. That's what we're going to run into. I mean, it's just the way it is. Here's one. So another one's got a link. This one has an incredibly long link. No phone number, no anything. They just want you to go over there and check it. Click on it so they can capture your information. Got this weird email. Thought I'd share it with you. Katie, you sent me a heavily redacted email. The whole thing didn't come through. This is Jeremy Powell from the Federal Reserve Bank. All right. Okay. And they've got a 540 number. Let's call them. Let's call the Federal Reserve. No, not at all, Petrie. Remember that it's a holiday. Last week was a holiday week, so it was all jacked up.
The party you are.
And this is what we're going to run into, guys. Again, it's New Year's Eve in India right now. They're partying their balls off. They're all drunk and having a good time. That's what it is. So you don't need both. If you have the top tier, you have both automatically. So your phone rang when it called. You thought I was calling you. That's pretty funny. I didn't see it. There was the first part to that, Winnie. I didn't see it. The calls would be hilarious. They'd be, yeah, because they'd be hammered, you know. Thank you for calling. I've made calls, but they're. What about Dave Ramsey? Dave Ramsey, I don't agree with everything he says. He says homeownership isn't great for everyone. He couldn't be more wrong. 99.9% of the millionaires on the planet own at least one home, and it's usually the home they live in. There's more millionaires in real estate than anything else. Because land is the only thing they're not making more of, unless you fancy a trip to Mars when that happens. And people used to ask me, I used to sell investments, and I was one of the top people in the country doing it for the company that I work for. And people would always ask, well, if you invest your money, what's the best way to invest your money? Real estate, 1,000%. Second choice is what I sell. You're not buying real estate, so let's get to work. How many scammers can you get to say, I love you? You know, I've tried to do that before. You know, that has to be, I have to have a certain number. I have to have some people that that are I can call them repeatedly. Like I can call them over and over and over again, and they can't stop me. It kind of takes that. Yesterday, I got the one to do it, and I posted it. So I posted it on TikTok, and I did that on TikTok because it was in the YouTube version. Ghetto tattoos. Oh, does that mean you're too scared to get some ghetto? And you misspelled tattoos. Ghetto tattoos. Come tell me. Come see me. Is this person muted or user? Of course, the anonymous profile, because that's what ballless little twats do. You know, as far as Dave Ramsey goes, you know, doing what he calls plastic surgery, cutting up your credit cards. Y'all have a wallet full of credit cards. I don't use them. I use one. I mean, like we have an Amex, and I use the Amex. Literally, I put everything on the Amex, and then I pay it once a month. The reason I do that is I get, you know, points or whatever, bonus reward shit and whatever. I don't know how much it is. Yeah, I mean, let them watch, but not comment. That's fine by me. I don't do crypto. I don't fuck with intangibles. And stocks are bad enough. The stuff that I invest in is I'm betting on the averages. The stocks that I have money, I don't own. I'm making sure I'm doing a mental check. I don't own any individual stocks at this point. I did during COVID and made a killing on it. You can pay bail with Amex. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know. I used cash. And yes, I'm dead serious. Happy New Year's. Thank you, user. Yeah, mine doesn't do miles. I mean, it can, I think you can buy miles with it, but mine is just cash back. So online shopping, really risky. Not really. And a lot of credit card companies now will give you a virtual credit card number that you can use. Just sold all your stocks. I don't think it's a bad idea. Toodles. I don't think it's a bad idea. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Tech stocks are going to fucking blow up. So this is just me saying it. I'm not licensed to give this information. I was at one time 663 group 1 and 7 licensed. I'm not anymore. I took all 4 of those tests. I studied for 12 days. I took all 4 of those tests and passed them all in the first try. Just so you know. And that is public record. You can actually look that up if you're so weirdly inclined. But the tech stocks like NASDAQ, I forget what they call it, whatever the NASDAQ, like Spider or whatever the thing is, where it's like a mutual of NASDAQ stuff. Just bet on the average on the NASDAQ for the next 2 years. It's going to be fucking incredible. Screen record that if you want, or timestamp that or whatever. Sent you some PCH cameras from yesterday. Happy New Year, brother. Oh, it's no, it's evening still. Happy New Year's, brother. Cheers. I'll send you a message at midnight your time. Put all monies in FDIC accounts? I disagree. You're going to lose money that way because inflation is, and you're not keeping up with inflation. You're making a fraction of a cent or a fraction of a percent on your safe money. Happy New Year's, pep talk. I appreciate you. Working together to update your payment. Update account now. Same thing. It's a link. It's phishing. If you go to where the link is, it goes to mobile.mail.yahoo.com/apps, affiliate router, etc. Nah, I don't think so, bro. Yeah. Someone Crystal sent me a deal talking about, all the things that have been removed or are being removed. McAfee offers that service. So yes, there are many out there that do that. Federal Reserve Bank, it's another one of those. It's a 906 number. We can try it. Guys, remember today, and I called this yesterday. I said I don't think there's going to be a lot of numbers today. There's not, and it's because they are partying just like we are. Like it's 1999. I'm old enough to remember when that song came out and when it actually happened. That was a weird time. Yeah, these people are just not going to answer. I think what I want to do with respect to the app, guys, I don't think there's really any point. I mean, I can do Q&A on the app, but I really don't think there's not going to be any calls. For those of you that are on the app, do you want me to go ahead and go over to the app? If so, tell me in the comments on YouTube and TikTok both right now. Is it midnight in India yet? It's pretty damn close. I've seen a handful of you say no, but are you people on the app? See, like, and I'm just, please understand what I'm saying. Okay. Like, there's one of the measures of how successful you are as a creator on TikTok. I'm using TikTok as an example. TikTok, it's a little more convoluted. YouTube, it's a little more in your face. Like people send super chats and whatever, and like there's a dollar amount and you made it, right? TikTok, it's like you get diamonds. Diamonds equate to dollars. There's a calculation for it and so on and so forth. Let me do that. I'm gonna log into the app real quick. And we'll see how it goes. Hold on a second. Go live. Next. Oh, shit, it's making me do all this. Next. There we go. Enter backstage. Go live. All right, we're live in the app now. So here's what we'll do. I'll see how many people come over there. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, it'll be Q&A. There's not much, there's not any numbers to call. It's because it's a holiday. So I've got both of them open right now. I think you should do some battles. People really love those. Yeah, no, not so much. They don't. I told you he's changed. What's up, Kristen from West Virginia? But you can't comment there? Why not? There's already 78 people over there. People saying they came from TikTok. Let me pull up the thing here real quick. I'm trying to get it to load up. There's over 100 people in there already, so it takes a minute. Let me close this. Where's my damn thing? Now there's 130 people in there. So it's loading up pretty quick. Just run both. I don't like to run both because it's draws a lot of bandwidth and it makes everything perform a little more poorly because the app does require a lot more bandwidth, truly. I'm live right now. So if you go to the app, you should see the banner that says join live. So let's go to comments. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on the Q&A, enable Q&A, and I'm going to take questions from the app. Here we go. I tell you what I'm going to do, though. I think I'm going to kill the YouTube feed. I hate to do it, but I'm going to kill the YouTube feed because, yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it or hear it, but that computer right there, that's the one that this particular deal is running on, and it goes bananas when there's a lot of draw on it. See how crazy it looks right now? That's why. So I'm going to kill the YouTube. Actually, I saw my email. I saw your email. Why am I getting Ruck emails? Because you're subscribed. You can unsubscribe from them and then you won't get them anymore. Forward me one of the ones you're getting and I'll tell you. If they're coming to you like somebody's trying to reset your password, that means someone's trying to hack you. And if you don't respond to that, then, you know, that's the only thing I can think of. You don't have TikTok anymore? Okay. Dang it. Guess it's time to pull out the charger. Yeah. I'm going to kill this because it's just there's only 260 people in that. We already have over 200 in the app already. So I'm going to take Q&A. I'm going to stay on TikTok. I'll stay on TikTok because there's 1,300 people in there. And you guys can, that way we can deal that. I got some questions popping up. Okay, good. Jackie, it accepted your feedback. Good. Glad to hear that. How do I pay off an eviction through the apartment manager or the court? It depends. If there was an actual eviction, you're probably going to have to pay it to the property, but you're going to have to get them to sign something that you can take to the court and put it on file so that you get a release of the lien or the eviction, the judgment against you. How often do scammers get shut down for good? Very seldom. It sucks, but it is what it is. All right, YouTubers, come join us on the app or go over to TikTok. I love you, but I can't run both of you. It's just eating up a lot of bandwidth. So, you know better, so I might as well just stay here and answer questions as a little bonus for those that are not on the app. Richard, go over to TikTok. Can a husband evict his wife? Yeah, it's called divorce. So, all right. For those of you that are on YouTube right now, love yourselves, love each other, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I firmly believe in my heart of hearts that we can overcome any challenge, any adversity, solve any problem that we face as a human collective. If we just do those 4 simple things: love yourselves, love each other, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I will see you guys later tonight on TikTok. I'm sure we'll be live at some point. And otherwise, I might go live tomorrow just for New Year's Day, but it's not going to be calls because they're not going to be sending out emails, I don't think. So it'll be probably Wednesday. No, what is today? Today's Tuesday, Wednesday. It'll be Thursday before we really get into hardcore calls again. So, all right. I'll cheers until next time. There we go.